Welcome to the Matchmaking Insights podcast. Today we're diving into the step by step journey that a professional matchmaker takes from the first client hello to celebrating a successful match.
It's a pretty detailed roadmap, isn't it? What I find so fascinating is how each stage builds on the previous one.
Absolutely, it's like fitting together pieces of a puzzle. We start with client onboarding. That's where the magic of trust and compatibility begins.
Yeah, and that first consultation, right? The initial meeting where the matchmaker really gauges who the client is.
Exactly. During onboarding, the matchmaker gets to know the client's background, values, and what kind of partner they're after. It's all about assessing whether there's a mutual fit from the get go.
Right. So it's kind of like the foundation of a house. If it's not solid, nothing else will stand.
Mm hmm, you got it. Then, once both parties agree, you set everything in stone with an acceptance and agreement, like formalizing a service contract.
And that contract spells out the duration, process, fees, confidentiality, and even the expectations from both sides.
Exactly, it's all laid out so that there's no ambiguity. It's important for the matchmaker and client to feel secure in the arrangement.
Yeah. So after onboarding, the next big piece, if I'm not mistaken, is creating the client profile, right?
Right. The client profile is essentially a 360-degree snapshot, kind of like a detailed resume for, well, love. It gathers everything from personal data to interests, personality traits, and even relationship history.
And it's not just about the basics like age and occupation, but also those must have values and deal breakers.
Exactly. It includes core values and life goals. It's like, if the client values fitness and healthy habits, then you'd be looking for someone with similar priorities.
Yeah. One detail I really like is how the profile even touches on relationship history. It gives insights on what might or might not work in the future.
True, and that information is gold because it feeds directly into the search phase. Speaking of which, stage 3, match searching and selection, is where the real detective work happens.
Right. Instead of being a mindless swipe fest like dating apps, matchmaking is about quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm, exactly, it's a curated process. The matchmaker goes into their pool of eligible singles, sometimes even expanding it through networking and introductions. It's like keeping a well stocked buffet of potential matches.
Yeah. But isn't there also an element of intuition here? I mean, even with criteria and filters, sometimes a matchmaker just feels two people would click.
Absolutely, and that's where experience comes in. While criteria guide the search, intuition, or what some might call the matchmaker's instinct, often bridges the gap between data and human connection.
Interesting, but I would argue that sometimes intuition might overshadow strict preferences. How do we balance that?
Good point. A skilled matchmaker always checks their personal bias, ensuring they stick firmly to the client's needs. It's like calibrating your internal dial to make sure you're truly focusing on the client's blueprint, not your own taste.
That makes sense. So then, after finding promising candidates, we reach stage 4 introductions, right?
Exactly. Introductions are where you turn all that behind the scenes work into, well, a real life meeting. The matchmaker presents the potential match with a carefully crafted profile and sometimes even a photo if everyone's agreed to share it.
And I imagine it's super important to get mutual interest from both sides before arranging any actual meeting.
Right again. There's a sort of two sided consent there. Both the client and the match need to be on board. Once that's accomplished, the matchmaker might even help set up the first date, picking a nice venue, coordinating schedules, even offering tips to ease those pre-date jitters.
Yes. It sounds a bit like being a personal concierge. The detail really matters to put both parties at ease.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And then comes the follow-up after the date, which is stage 5, post-date feedback. This part is super critical because it closes the feedback loop and guides future matches.
Right, you need to know if the spark was there or if maybe there was a misalignment in conversation topics or perhaps differences in pacing.
Yes, exactly. The matchmaker proactively reaches out, gathers honest feedback, asks what worked or what didn't, and then, based on that, refines the search.
I love how this stage isn't just a yes or no, but an opportunity to tweak the approach for the next round if need be.
Exactly, it's iterative. And that brings us to stage 6, ongoing follow up and iteration. This is the continuous process of staying engaged with the client, whether that means new introductions, coaching advice, or even celebrating the success when a client finally finds a match.
It's kind of like a long relay race, isn't it? Every step builds on the previous one, ensuring that the client never feels forgotten.
You could say that. Whether the client's on a brief pause because they're exclusively exploring a promising connection, or the matchmaker is fine tuning the search criteria based on fresh feedback, it's all about perseverance and support.
Yeah. And I must say, the record keeping part is a crucial element too. Too often, people underestimate how vital it is to document every introduction, every bit of feedback.
Right, keeping those detailed records helps protect both sides and over time builds an archive of successful strategies and lessons learned. It's the backbone of a professional service.
Now, if we zoom out to the big picture, what do you think is the ultimate goal of this whole process?
At its core, it's all about creating a meaningful, lasting connection. Every step, from the intimate onboarding conversations to meticulously planned introductions, is designed to set up a scenario where compatibility can truly
Uh
shine.
huh. It really underscores the balance of systematic processes with the personal human aspects. There's organization, but also empathy and care.
Exactly. And let's not forget, while the process might seem methodical, the matchmaker's role is almost an art form. It combines scientific precision with the unpredictability of human chemistry.
I love that metaphor. Like combining a finely tuned machine with a painter's brush to create a masterpiece of connection.
Yes, it's like you're painting a picture with both numbers and emotions, and each layer from the client profile to feedback adds depth to the portrait.
Right. One could debate whether too much focus on the systematic aspects might stifle spontaneity. What do you think about that?
Fair critique. I'd say, while structure is essential, the matchmaker must always be flexible. The system is there to enhance, not diminish, that human touch. Good matchmakers know when to follow the data and when to trust their
Definitely.
gut feelings.
And ultimately, aren't we all here just trying to find that one connection that really makes it all worthwhile?
Precisely. The entire framework is about guiding clients towards a compatible match that can lead to a fulfilling relationship. It's a journey where every step, even if it might seem rigorous, is driven by a genuine commitment to creating love connections.
I mean, it's impressive how each stage interlocks with the next, kind of like a finely choreographed dance where each move sets up the next one.
Exactly. And with each iteration, the strategy gets smarter. Feedback informs adjustments, and follow up ensures clients feel supported all the way through.
Yeah, it's a holistic approach. And I think that's what really sets professional matchmaking apart from other dating scenarios.
Absolutely. It's systematic and personal at the same time. It offers a roadmap, but with plenty of room for flexibility and human connection. That's the essence of effective matchmaking.
Yep. Well, this has been an enlightening discussion. It really shows that behind every successful match is a rigorous yet heartfelt process.
It sure is. And whether you're a matchmaker honing these skills or someone curious about what happens behind the scenes, it's clear that love, like any fine craft, takes both art and
Yeah,
science.
indeed. Thanks for joining in on this journey through the matchmaking process. I think I'll be looking at every stage with a new perspective now.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in. Happy matching, everyone, and see you next time.